love reading I did, about an hour and 20 minutes of it, and only 20 minutes got recorded. So I don't know with this reading how it will go. These readings typically take about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes. But, if some parts get lost in the Ethernet or whatever it is, the internet, I suppose that's just meant to be. Anyway, yes, welcome to Mystic Moons. I got another request to do a collective love reading, this time for Sagittarius. Sagittarius Collective, how are you? This reading is for anyone with significant Sagittarius energy. So if you have a Sagittarius Sun, a Sagittarius Moon, a Sagittarius Rising, definitely this reading applies. I would also say with any sort of placements as well that call for a significant Sagittarius energy. That would be Sagittarius in the personal planets. I would say if you have multiple houses and or planets in Sagittarius. Well, there's some other parts where Sagittarius energy is particularly strong. Sure, I don't have to go and say that if you're on here or if you're cross-watching. Well, let's see what the messages are. So, way this reading will be structured, there'll be two parts. There'll be a general reading on love, just whatever is in the energy, and the message for right now for Sagittarius. And then there'll be a message. My little kitty is here ready to do muse work for us. And then there'll be the breakdown by the 12 zodiac signs. If you appreciate my time, let me know. Oops, don't sit on that little girl. She's like, she always has to go and sit on paper. Don't sit on the drawing, love. Okay. If you appreciate my time, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. And of course, take it as it resonates. If you have any comments, let me know. Of course, if you want to think about it, you can let me know. Sagittarius reading. Oh, and I guess I can also say, if you're interested in this sort of reading and would like me to do it next time, definitely give me a thumbs up to let me know. By the time I finish the love readings, that's at least a minimum of 12 hours for all 12 zodiacs. Sometimes, well, it's actually between 12 and like 18 hours on average. So, yeah, I don't do these as much as I used to, but they're still fun to do. So, Sagittarius. Let's go and see first what's in your, oh, thank you for the like. Let's first see what's in your love reading. I guess I'll also add too before I start, I won't be time stamping this, so because on the phone is too hard. But you can jump around if you want. This part, the general love reading, will take about 20 minutes. And then afterwards, by element, maybe each reading is like 3 to 5 minutes, somewhere around there. So you can jump around. All right. Love reading for Sagittarius. What is in your energy, Sagittarius, as we near a new season, a new change in the air? And you're closing out a cycle, Sagittarius. Or perhaps someone in your energy is closing out a cycle. Someone in your energy, Sagittarius, could be you, could be this love interest that's coming up. The time for indecision is over. This person, Sagittarius, they've been on the crossroads. feeling perhaps impotent and powerless to go and make the sort of changes that they want. But at the same time, this person is also tired of being in this state of limbo. No more will they remain in the state of limbo. No more will they allow situations to happen just because it's just the way that things are. There is a person, Sagittarius, who's going to take action into their own hands. And also, too, let me say, Eight of Swords, Ten of Swords. This person has been worrying about the consequences of moving certain ways or perhaps public perception. There's a reluctance to go and actually step out of the expected boundaries here with Ten of Swords, Eight of Swords. And that's over. Whatever the consequences are, whatever the perceptions are, Sagittarius in this energy, this person realizes it doesn't matter. Let's go and see what else we have. So, Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords gets the World, the Sun, and Page of Pentacles. A whole new start here with Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands. Also, too, how this person has perhaps seen the world, definitely how they've acted. They're going to go and act outside of the boundaries of how they've been operating so far. Not only do we have a new start, but we have a new way of behaving, definitely a new way of behaving. Perhaps, too, in this energy with a Ten of Swords. This person is specifically, should I say, setting firecrackers? I don't know. They're pushing kinetic energy. They're pushing fireworks. You can't ignore a person in this energy. As I said, this person is done waiting for things to happen to them. They're going to push the situation and see where it's at. The World and the Sun here. A whole new start, a whole new bolder way of acting. Also, do I call this suggestions or propositions? This person is either going to be receiving a whole bunch of offers or they're going to be making it. And big ones too, ones that are serious, ones that carry weight and gravity. Life changes. Find out more. World clarified. I have my little kitty here taking up some of my room. I guess I'll just put this Ten of Swords back here. The World gets a Nine of Wands, Sagittarius energy, Seven of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. With the World being clarified by a Nine of Wands, definitely, again, we have confirmation of, waiting for life to happen, but a very specific things about life to happen. Seven of Pentacles, ready for that, whatever this person has been waiting for. Obviously, we're talking about love. Obviously, we're talking about union, connection, building, support. Also, too, quality time spent together, quality time that results in It's not even just memories. This person is into building strong bonds. Maybe two in this energy, 9 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles. This person has been strengthening their own foundation, their own sense of self, so that as they go and join a partnership, the Sagittarius, they're bringing their true, authentic color with them. This isn't necessarily a whole bunch of people of similar vibration joining necessarily. This is someone with a very distinct tone, a very distinct sense of self, a distinct sense of self that they've been honing in for a while. And ready to bring that distinct sense of self to a relationship. Anyway, this person also too, under the world, is ready to stand out. Ready to stand out and step away from how they've allowed people to classify them before. This person is taking power into their own hands of who they are, and also to going to make sure that no one else necessarily defines them. They are defining themselves. The Sun. Sun, we have Queen of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, and the Star. First of all, let me go and say unlikely inspiration. Part of this energy here with High Priestess Kochi, my cat is meowing. Part of this energy with Queen of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, and the Star, clarified by the Sun with the High Priestess. Part of this is unplanned. Unplanned consciously. This isn't necessarily something that you can say by this period of time, I'm going to do this or meet this person. It's not something you can consciously plan for. A lot of this energy here is fate, fate that you can't plan for. But it's an opportunity that's coming up. And more than anything, Sagittarius, it's an inspirational time or an inspirational person. Definitely someone who strikes a chord that you did not expect. And also, too, like an onion, many different layers to go and discover outside of what is initially presented. All that's going to be initially presented in this energy, Sagittarius. Again, this could be you, this could be the person, this could be both of you. All that's initially going to be presented is the possibility of what could be. Someone who goes and sets your imagination going, someone who you can go and see, dream about what the future could be. This person inspires, invigorates. Anyway, this is really lovely energy. This is the type of person who inspires you to be the best you can be. Just because you see how it's possible to be so much better, to want so much better, to incorporate positivity in your life like you didn't quite realize or expect before. Did I just fold that other card back in? I think I did. That was the Page of Pentacles. Let me dig out my Page of Pentacles. Or was my Page of Pentacles? Give me a moment. I mean, I could just continue pulling, but I like to have my Page of Pentacles. Is that it? No. One moment. I was so caught up into the sun energy. I was actually going to begin the 12th zodiac sign breakdown. But let's get the Page of Pentacles. Where was it? Sometimes I do that. It's so natural. Oh, there we go. Page of Pentacles. Okay, so the final energy clarifying our Ten of Swords is a Page of Pentacles. And that Page of Pentacles gets a Three of Swords, Ace of Swords, Libra. Aren't we in Libra season right now? That's rather immediate energy here. Could also be dealing with a Libra or somebody with strong Libra placements. When I say strong Libra placements, there's strong placements for any zodiac sign. Doesn't necessarily have to be just your sun, your moon, and your rising. We're dealing with love, so it could also be your Venus sign or their Venus sign. Could also be your signature sign. You can go and see some people don't have a signature sign. Their energies are evenly dispersed. Some people have quite strong energies around a specific sign, or several pertinent or personal planets or houses in an energy. So think about that too with this Libra energy coming out. Could be timing, could be somebody, Four of Swords is also Libra energy, could be somebody with significant Libra energy. Not only, I would say too, Venus energy as we're dealing with love. Also, you can consider Jupiter, seventh house, and I would say also too the asteroid of Juno. Something to consider, right? Think about how your own natal chart is structured, or if you know somebody quite well, you can think about how their natal chart is structured. You know, we're a lot more than just simply our sun sign verbatim, especially as these energies play out and as we're dealing with timing. So anyway, Page of Pentacles is also clarified by a 5. Okay, so first of all, 5 of Cups. Page of Pentacles, 3 of Swords, Ace of Swords, 5 of Cups. This person is tired of watching life go by. Tired of allowing hesitation of rejection to come through. But definitely in this energy, tired of allowing circumstances that has been happening, continuing, tired of being passive, which is that whole energy that we've had from the very beginning. Also, too, 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups is Scorpio energy. Could be relating to something that is like a clarion call coming up. As the year progresses, as time progresses, as we go through Libra season and awakening coming up. A lot of the readings that I do, sometimes the timing is fluid, but I definitely feel like with this, it's more immediate, it's more now. Even the fact that we have these timing cards, I'm going to dial this back, timing cards of a 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords, it's the end of cycle. The world also refers to cycle. Didn't I have a Wheel of Fortune? I did, right? Wheel of Fortune, that's another vibration of 10. 10 breaks down to 1. The Sun is a realization. That's a mental phase, but also too relating to decisioning in time. An Ace of Swords, vibration of 1. We have all these, well, There's a new season coming on to you, a new phase coming on to you with someone else, or someone else is going through that phase that's going to approach you. And it's all about decisioning the type of person they want to be. They're going to be authentic to themselves because they already know what it's like to be unauthentic and to follow the expectations of others who may or may not have their best interests at heart. It's not about who cares for you or who doesn't care for you. It's about talents and gifts that God and the universe and all the good things have given you. So yes, as this Page of Pentacles is very tired of continuing things how they've been and watching and waiting. I'm going to say that, waiting, and energy is tired of watching life go by. Now let's go and start the 12 zodiac sign breakdown. So, the way that I see this part, the way I feel it, is that think about, visualize, well, each emotion has a color. Each color inspires an emotion. And when you think about pink, right? Think about not necessarily the red, lusty energy of passion. Of course, passion could very well follow, but the energy that we're going to be focusing on is the pink energy of empathy, compassion, love, care, understanding, support. That pink energy that provides a perfect ground, a perfect foundation for good things to be built upon. And as we think about that pink energy, we're going to be thinking as well about the 12 zodiac signs. So again, you can think about their sun, their moon, their rising, also their Venus. And if you want to go and, think about it, you can think about their 7th house, Jupiter, Juno, asteroid. I leave that all up to you. And this is their energy towards you, not the other way around. If I get around to the other signs, I definitely invite you to cross-watch if you are so curious. Let's see, the first element we're going to start with fire. We're going to start with Sagittarius. So, Sagittarius, if you have a Sagittarius on your mind, could be someone who you're dealing with right now, could be someone who you haven't spoken to in a while, but perhaps you feel them. There's many different ways of communicating. Doesn't necessarily have to be physical, doesn't necessarily have to be verbal. We are electrical beings. Every thought, every emotion, every action we do leaves a footprint. And it could also be a Sagittarius who you just meet. So Sagittarius, a Sagittarius, for Sagittarius, that Sagittarius' energy towards you. 9 of Wands, the Emperor. Not sure where they stand. Could also be in this energy too, Sagittarius, a little bit of power play. But yet nobody quite wants to take the reign. No one quite wants to step down. Also, too, a little bit of intimidation here. Not sure what to expect. Unpredictable. Being unpredictable, unreadable. That 9 of Wands It's clarified by the Hierophant. How serious is this person? Where are their values? How do they value you? How do you value them? Devil and Four of Wands. Sagittarius, if you're dealing with a fellow Sagittarius, if you meet a fellow Sagittarius, ooh, Sagittarius, definitely it comes down to vulnerability. Vulnerability and clear communication. Can there be clear communication when we have the devil here with a Seven of Pentacles? This is guarded energy also too, wanting not necessarily to appear vulnerable. This person is trying to appear stronger than they feel, perhaps stronger than they are. Very big facade, boisterous facade, larger than life facade, but internally that's not how at all how they feel. And ultimately this person wants, well, they want to be reassured. They want to be reassured, and they want to be reassured of commitment. All of this is really strong with commitment. Hierophant, Devil, Four of Wands. Physical security. Are you in it? Could you be in it as much as they would be in it? But again, the issue here, this energy is very guarded. This person doesn't want to show the vulnerabilities, but this person really wants commitment. They want absoluteness. Do you see them as a soulmate as much as they see you? This person in this energy will probably not be the one to go and broker the conversation, approach the conversation to you about this. This would be something, Sagittarius, if you're dealing with a fellow Sagittarius or you meet a Sagittarius, this is something you would have to initiate because this is such a deep and sensitive issue for this person. They would pay attention to your signs and your actions and what they can glean rather than asking directly. And with that devil there, I'd say Seven of Pentacles, Four of Wands, all that energy there. Directness is what's needed. Hello. Oh, thank you very much. Do I have loved ones come through? Not quite sure what you mean by that, but I mean, I can, of course, channel messages with these. These are for the general collective. So whatever sort of energy is in there, you know, we all have trends, common trends that go through, even if they may seem surprisingly unique or out there. Chances are there's a collective that is going through that or has gone through that or will go through those very surprising actions and chains of events. Well, I definitely don't see the devil as necessarily a negative person. I mean, you know what I mean, like a negative entity in the tarot. I actually don't really see any cards as purely negative or purely positive. And with that devil and the energy that I pulled right there, it's more like a need, a reassurance, also to something that's really focused upon. So is that a Pacific person? All those cards could be Pacific. That person could have very strong Capricorn energy. If in that Sagittarius reading they did have Capricorn energy, I would say that Capricorn energy would be somewhere in like perhaps their Mars or their communication, places of communication, places of action and communication. Could also be matters of the heart as well. But I would say action, communication, and feeling. That's what I would say to look for those. So anyway, I'm going to continue with the other readings. Let's continue with the fire signs. With Sagittarius, if you're dealing with an Aries, someone with significant Aries energy. Could be someone you know. Maybe you're talking to them, maybe you're not. Could be someone who you meet. Sagittarius, that Aries towards you. We have a Page of Wands. Page of Wands, bottom of the deck energy, Four of Pentacles. If you're dealing with an Aries, or if you meet an Aries, I say if you meet an Sagittarius, but in this energy, the Sagittarius, if you're dealing with an Aries, it feels like that Aries has been aware of you. Maybe that Aries would approach you, would be a new connection, could be a new connection. But even if that Aries is a new connection, I bet they've seen you, Sagittarius. This is not completely unknown, and this isn't like they felt you or they dreamt, anticipated you. Connections that are other than our mundane, actual, physical things. This person has actually seen you. This person has been thinking about you. Maybe they know you well. Maybe they haven't said a word to you ever. Maybe they haven't approached you ever. But Sagittarius, if you're dealing with an Aries, that Aries in this energy of love towards you has definitely scoped you out, been scoping you out, been thinking about you, has come to certain sorts of conclusions about you. Very strong energy here. Very strong ideas here. So let's find out more about this Aries towards Sagittarius. At Page of Wands, I have a Six of Cups, Three of Swords, So a couple things could be going on here, Sagittarius, if you meet or you deal with an Aries. One is this Aries could be known to you, right? We already said that in these collective readings, there's that fluidness, that expansiveness that exists here. If this is an Aries that you haven't dealt with before, Sagittarius, and let me say that first of all, this Aries has been independent. This Aries is quite single. This Aries is quite unattached. This Aries also, too, has gone through meeting expectations of others, almost in that main reading that we did, the first part of this broadcast, when I spoke about how this person is tired of meeting other people's expectations as opposed to their own, and waiting for life to happen. And this energy, Aries, if this is someone who's not known to you, this Aries definitely has been meeting the expectations of others, putting themselves out there, and that hasn't paid off for that person. That person has learned some unpleasant lessons, and they've learned them quite well. This person has come through, metamorphosized into a higher sense of self, also to a stronger sense of who they are, and their dependencies on others just because of emotional attachments has been lessened, especially if they're toxic. This Aries has been through baptized by the fire. And that's the person who's approaching you if you're dealing with an Aries. Someone who is very vivacious. Just because they've been hurt doesn't mean that they're going to be carrying those wounds around, but they're also very savvy. And I also don't think that what they've experienced themselves, they would ensure they would not put that on anyone else. Now, if you're dealing with an Aries in this energy, if you're dealing with an Aries in this energy, and if something unpleasant-ish went down between the both of you, that Aries has come to some understanding. That Aries definitely could be open to you now, Sagittarius, perhaps too in this energy. Sagittarius, this person could be coming around for, well, chapter 2 with you, phase 2 with you, another chapter in your history together, Sagittarius. However, Sagittarius, this person is coming with a stronger sense of self. And whatever initially happened between the both of you, well, this person's coming with a stronger sense of self. So it's almost like, think about it this way, Sagittarius. If you eat something with a little bit of flavor, like coffee or mint, right? A strong flavor, strong, distinct flavor. This person is coming with more of that coffee flavor, more of that mint flavor. This person is coming with a stronger self. So however they've been acting up to a certain point, Sagittarius, they're even more of that now, which could lead to whatever issues that caused this Sagittarius to arrive perhaps in other areas that you didn't expect, or quicker, larger, magnified, things of that nature. Let's go and see what else we have here. Oh, we have Leo, right? And then we'll go on to the other elements. So Sagittarius, if you're dealing with somebody with significant Leo energy. So I've already gone through all the placements that you can consider, right? You can think about that. Sagittarius, significant Leo energy, someone you could know, someone you could meet. Let's see about that Leo towards you, Sagittarius. The Devil. Well, if you're dealing with a Leo has lots of vigor. Leo is also very determined. What are they determined about? Perhaps they're not telling. Secretive. Leo has lots of plans. Leo is secretive. Leo will act in ways that they won't explain. Maybe you'll understand it, Sagittarius. We'll see. Maybe you won't. But Leo is definitely not going to be explaining their actions. Leo has agendas, plans, pathways that they've already determined, already decided to go down, regardless of whether they're supported or not. Leo's energy here is fiercely independent, Sagittarius. Partnerships here, Sagittarius. We are dealing with love readings. Love is a partnership. Love is, right? Someone who is, you think about it again, we're doing the pink energy. Leo is very much a independent sense of self. Let's go and see how that plays out. So we have the Devil. That Devil gets a 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands is Sagittarius energy. 10 of Wands is Sagittarius energy. Page of Wands, all fire. Sagittarius, if you're dealing with a Leo. Okay, so first of all, if you're dealing with a Leo, you're going to need understanding. You're going to need understanding and to trust your gut, Sagittarius. How do you feel about that, Leo? Leo is not going to be pushed around by anyone else. Trust that in this energy, Sagittarius. Leo is into making their own reality happen. And Leo, in their energy here, Sagittarius, you're either going to have to believe in them. Well, you're going to believe in them because they're not really going to do much explaining. You're either going to have to believe and trust in them, or leave that Leo. Because Leo is not in this energy. They're into partnership with you, Sagittarius, but they're not into explaining. Sagittarius, Leo's energy is very serious, very secretive, very determined, very serious. Leo is not playing around. Leo is also at a major crossroads here, especially with Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, King of Swords. Leo has business to do, business to go, business in life. Also, too, Leo is actually, I feel like saying Leo is steadfast and loyal. But Leo's not going to explain themselves. Leo's going to be very poor at explaining themselves. Perhaps misunderstandings could come up with Leo the way either Leo acts or what you discover about Leo. Leo's energy is not bad, but Leo's energy is fiercely independent, and Leo's energy is not necessarily open to you. Open to engaging with you, not open to discussing with you, enlightening you, sharing with you, perhaps to trusting you. Leo's going to need time for all that. So it all comes down to how deeply do you believe in trusting Leo? Cat's like, I want to sleep over here. Let's go on to the next element. Go on to Earth. So we'll go on to Taurus, Sagittarius. By the way, Sagittarius, she's a Taurus. Sagittarius, if you meet a Taurus, somebody with significant Taurus energy, if you are dealing with somebody with significant Taurus energy, that Taurus towards you, Sagittarius. Let's see. I have to move this over a little bit because she's right where I kind of put my arms. Let's move that over. Okay. So I have this again. Six of Pentacles is Taurus energy. Five of Pentacles is Taurus energy too. This suggests that Taurus has gone through some things. Perhaps Taurus has willingly cut themselves off from people, or Taurus has been forced to take a closer examination of who they've been keeping company with because those people have let Taurus down in some way. Taurus has had a lot of illusions, or perhaps a lot of daydreams shattered. Taurus is forced to be more practical, more grounded. They've been forced to be more practical and more grounded, but still Taurus loves to dream. They get their hope from dreaming and imagining what could be and working towards it, even though they've been burned. So Taurus is kind of in this seesawing energy of, they have the aftertaste of failure, of disappointment, and yet Taurus still is fiercely committed to dreaming, and they want to ensure what can they do to bring forth their dreams regardless. That's the basic energy of Taurus. Towards you, around you, Sagittarius. So 6 of Pentacles gets a 2 of Cups. Taurus is tender. A reversed 5 of Swords. Ooh, though, in this energy, this particular energy that's set up, not quite sure if I like that 5 of Swords. Okay. If you're dealing with a Taurus or if you meet a Taurus, regardless, think about what I just said. And Taurus could have a tendency to repeat certain patterns. Taurus is still very much a dreamer, and in being very much a dreamer, Taurus could be focusing on what they'd like to see and like to hear, like to imagine, as opposed to what actually is unfolding around them. Taurus's vision is a bit clouded. Sagittarius, if you're dealing with a Taurus. Taurus could also have some expectations of you, Sagittarius, that are either premature or maybe a little outrageous. Maybe a little outrageous. I mean, Queen of Swords, there's expectations here that Taurus is going to definitely want to see you fulfill. Perhaps too in this energy, there's testing, unnecessary testing here, Sagittarius. Definitely unnecessary testing, because Taurus has been hurt before, as I mentioned. Taurus has been disappointed before, but still very much a dreamer. Regardless if you meet a Taurus or if you're dealing with a Taurus, Sagittarius, Taurus is seeing things through perhaps their heart and their Neptune, what they'd like to see. They're not seeing things clearly. And they'll be putting, definitely here, there's some testing going on. There's something not quite fair going on from Taurus's end, or expectations, something. They're not going to be seeing you, Sagittarius, as you truly are, as you clearly are. They're going to be colored by that past they went through, Taurus, and susceptible still to how they like to see reality as it is. Keep that in mind if you're dealing with a Taurus. Taurus also too in this energy, whatever hurts that Taurus has gone through prior, those hurts are still alive or fresh within Taurus. Okay, let's go and do this before we go on to the next one. Sagittarius, if you're dealing with or if you meet a Capricorn for Sagittarius. Let's see, that would be a Capricorn Sun, Moon, rising, a Capricorn Venus, perhaps a Capricorn 7th house, Jupiter or Juno. Significant Capricorn energy. Maybe several signs that they have in, or planets or houses in Capricorn. Strong Capricorn energy, okay? If you're dealing with a Capricorn, if you meet a Capricorn, that Capricorn towards you, Sagittarius, the Tower, and Justice. Very immediate energy here if you're dealing with a Capricorn, or if you meet or dealing with a Capricorn, regardless. Sagittarius, very obvious, very immediate. It's either whatever decisions that they have, they're going to make about you right away. And it also looks like even if you are dealing with a new Capricorn, Sagittarius, even if you've never seen this Capricorn before in your life, there's some soul ties here, Sagittarius, with that Capricorn. You've dealt with that Capricorn before, Sagittarius, regardless if you dealt with them before in this life or you dealt with them before in some other life. But yeah, there's definitely soul ties. Soul ties, red threads, parallel worlds, whatever you want to call it. You have connections outside of what we see in our physical world with that Capricorn. Also, too, let me say, Sagittarius, that Capricorn is a reckoning for you. Perhaps you are also a reckoning for them. Ooh, very strong energy, very potent energy. I'm not even going to say very necessary energy, very raw energy. Strong energy with that Capricorn. Find out more. So the Tower. Tower for you, Sagittarius, I have 9. I'm going to change the way, however you've been operating right now, Sagittarius. Perhaps however, too, that Capricorn's been operating. Change is coming. Also, too, in this energy with whatever it was called, justice, Sagittarius, if you're dealing with a Capricorn, the things you value, what you've considered important, what that Capricorn has also considered important, Sagittarius, if you dealing with a Capricorn, that's going to change for both of you. How you're operating right now, what you valued so far, it's changing. 8 of Swords and the Fool. Faith. Faith, Sagittarius. If you're dealing with a Capricorn, if you meet a Capricorn, that Capricorn definitely, I'm not going to say words like karmic or soulmate, but you do have red threads between you and that Capricorn. There's something going on other than what we see right now, in the real world. Like, I can touch this card, I have a cat here. The temperature is 78 degrees where I am. Outside of those physical things, there's something going on and in the energetic field, outside of time and space, how we typically perceive it. It's a reckoning. That Capricorn will change you. That Capricorn, you will change that Capricorn, Sagittarius, if you have the courage to explore it. How do you feel about being disrupted, Sagittarius? How does that Capricorn feel about being disrupted? Because the connection between you and them are going to require big changes in your current lifestyle and your current values. It's a growth period, and you are going to find things. If you deal with that Capricorn, if you continue dealing with that Capricorn, you're going to find new things of value that you are going to pursue and grow and nurture. And I'll say, too, in the energy, what you currently nurture and value, Sagittarius, will that be as important? There's going to be a shift. Let's go and see. We have, yeah, we have Virgo now. So Sagittarius, if you're, then we have air and water. Sagittarius, if you're dealing with a Virgo. Virgo for Sagittarius. In this energy, well, first of all, Virgo is busy. Busy Virgo. Virgo is busy. Virgo has commitments. Virgo is doing some things. Maybe too in this energy, Virgo has been a little heads down into work, heads down into paying attention to the future, Sagittarius, as opposed to paying attention to the now. Virgo's energy, Sagittarius, they're using the now for the future, but they're not really making use of now. Everything they're doing for something they hope for, something that they're building for. Because of that, too, Sagittarius and Virgo's energy. Oh, Virgo could let certain things. Well, they're valuing. They're putting values on. You know what's important, what's not as important, not unimportant, but not as important. And I think when they're judging everything on what could be and the future of what they'd like to have, you know, some things need a little bit more energy for it to bloom. There could be unexpected, like even right now, I'm doing this reading, but it's the reading of the energy of what's happening right now. If you put your attention and focus and care and time into something else or develop something more, you know, the future shifts. Think about it like plants, Sagittarius. You can have 5 plants, and if you have one plant by the window, what if you swap that one plant by the window and other ones are, you know, in the shade, and you put another plant by the window? That plant becomes bigger, right? That plant grows faster. That plant's trajectory has been changed as opposed to if it just remained in the shade outside of the window, or, you know, not in the window. Anyway, so it's sort of the energy here with Virgo. So 2 of Wands. Oh, thank you for the likes. 2 of Wands for Virgo, for Sagittarius. I have Knight of Cups. 3 of Wands. Strong Aries energy here, Sagittarius. You know, in this energy that Virgo may have made some big changes come this past spring, could have made or could be making big changes come this current upcoming spring. Or maybe that Virgo has strong Aries energy. Maybe Aries energy plays quite strongly in your connection. But definitely something with Aries has been like a turning point to pursue what they love. Virgo's energy is very hopeful, Sagittarius. You know, they're looking and they're focusing on the future, intently focusing on the future, but they really are trying to do their best. Nice energy. Trying to do their best as they know right now how to do it, trying to move forward and achieve their goals as they learn how to do it. Virgo's energy is very much, well, about improvisation. Fluid energy too. This person will change. This person is dedicated to good change, this Virgo. And if you meet or dealing with this person, if you're dealing with a Virgo, Virgo is not going to move very fast, Sagittarius. Virgo is still tasting all the flavors that could be, Sagittarius, to find the flavors that best suit their own taste. Virgo is still sampling. Virgo is still exploring. Virgo is open. Virgo is not necessarily in the energy of commitment, although Virgo is very much hoping for it, very much anticipating it, but still in the energy of fluidness. Something could grow with Virgo, but you need to be patient. Nothing's going to grow very fast with Virgo. Virgo thinks that they know what they want, who they want, or the type of connection that would make them commit. But in this energy, Virgo is still very much sampling. Something to keep in mind. My little kitty says, "Is that so?" Yes, it's so, little girl. Yeah, she's so cute. Are you so cute? She's so cute. Okay. So now let's go on to, did we do all the earth signs? We did. Let's check out water, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, let's check out Pisces to start. Sagittarius, if you know a Pisces, if you're dealing with a Pisces, if you meet a Pisces, Sagittarius, someone with strong Pisces energy, Pisces sun, moon, rising, Pisces, Venus, Pisces, 7th house, Pisces, Jupiter, right? All those placements. Are you going to go somewhere else? The little girl's going to give us a table. Okay, so I can actually move this over a little bit. What was I going to say? We're on Pisces. Where's my little thingy? Let's do that to just clear off the energy from the earth signs. So yes, Sagittarius, if you are dealing or meet a Pisces, Pisces energy toward Sagittarius. Pisces is very even keel, Sagittarius. Pisces energy is very stable. Pisces also values someone who compliments them, compliments their plans for the future. Can you build together? Are you alignment in how you want to move and grow together? Are the things, Sagittarius, that you value and you want to create the same as what that Pisces wants to create? And the same as what that Pisces values. That's all in the energy here between you and Pisces, Sagittarius. If you are in alignment, what lovely energy you have with Pisces, Sagittarius. Regardless if you meet a Pisces, regardless if you're dealing with a Pisces, you can be a very strong team together, Sagittarius. What you build together can be something quite special. Almost power couple type of energy here if you are dealing or if you meet a Pisces, Sagittarius. 9 of Pentacles is clarified by a Knight of Wands. I actually read my Knight of Wands as Sagittarius energy too, by the way. It just feels like some of the, like the page and the And the Knight cards, sometimes they feel like they could be a couple different energies. Some decks are stronger than others, but Knight of Wands always feels to me like Sagittarius. Anyway, King of Wands for if you are dealing with a Pisces, Pisces is very confident in themselves. Pisces has a distinct color, and they're not about to shift that hue to anything else. Pisces is a formed solid crystal. Pisces is not amorphous. Pisces is very aware of what they want, what their strengths are, what their hopes are, what their dreams are, and what is best for Pisces. Now, in this energy, Sagittarius, I do have very strong fire here with Knight of Wands, King of Wands, Four of Swords here. In this energy, Sagittarius means that because Pisces is so grounded in who they are as a person, if there's alignment there, the Sagittarius, this could feel very natural, and it could move maybe faster than you expect. You know, think about it when two magnets have that attraction and they just clamp together like they belong together, right? That's kind of the energy that we have here. You know, it's like Pisces is something, or perhaps you and Pisces are just the right magic, the right location, the right timing, and everything just blooms, as opposed to, you know, maybe waiting like a year or 6 months or 12 years or whatever for something to happen. Everything just clicks. There's a possibility there, and for that possibility to happen, again, think about your goals, Pisces goals. If there's alignment there, things will move very fast, very naturally, just as if it was meant to be, very fast with Pisces. If there's alignment there. That's all the caveats with Pisces. If you're dealing with a Cancer, if you meet a Cancer Sagittarius, that Cancer towards you, Wheel of Fortune, Five of Pentacles. Well, a couple things could be happening here. Could simply be the time to meet. You could know a Cancer, and for some reason timing wasn't right, Sagittarius. Maybe that Cancer's time wasn't right for them to meet anyone or deal with anyone. Could also be in your energy too, Sagittarius, and there's been a separation or a loneliness or a singletonness, being single, being separate, either from you or vice versa, or just in general. Anyway, there's a loneliness here. Time isn't right. Time is now becoming right. Time is right with that Cancer. Four of Wands, Eight of Cups, Seven of Swords. Someone's been reformulating what it is they want, what it is they'll pursue, what it is they'll commit to, what it is they value a lot. They've been changing that as they've been going through this period of separation if you're dealing with a Cancer. Cancer is different than how Cancer was before. Cancer is different now than how they were last year. Cancer is different now than how they were 8 months ago. Is Cancer more ruthless? Cancer sharper? I don't know. Cancer has been taking stock of what it is they value, who they value, how they value, what they'd like to value, how they'd like to be valued. All those things are going through Cancer, regardless if you deal with a Cancer, if you meet a Cancer. Well, if you have been dealing with a Cancer, if you meet a Cancer. All that's in Cancer's energy towards you, Sagittarius. Also, too, oh yeah, Cancer's been in a period of separation to maybe hone in what their true color is, much like the way Pisces already has their color. So Wheel of Fortune gets a Page of Wands, Death, 7 of Wands with the 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups is Cancerian energy. 10 of Wands is Sagittarius energy, Sun. So it all comes down to value and what it is you'll... Well, first of all, someone has to step out. Will that Cancer step out towards you, Sagittarius? Will that Cancer come towards you in active energy? Cancer needs a catalyst. Maybe Sagittarius in this energy, though, you too need a catalyst. Maybe one of you can go and come forward. Maybe you're slowly with that with that 5 of Pentacle energy, Wheel of Fortune energy, maybe slowly fate and yourselves likewise have been working in indirect ways to bring this connection forward. Which leads me to also wonder too, in this energy, Sagittarius, has there been a Cancer floating around your energy? A Cancer who you've been aware of in some way. Maybe you've actually seen their face. Maybe you actually know their name. Maybe you actually know a lot about them. Maybe it's just been a feeling, or a feeling that you'll recognize when you meet this person with significant Cancerian energy. All those things are here. Anyway, Sagittarius, with that Cancer, there's an opportunity presented to you if you develop it, if you pursue it. Someone has to pursue it. This connection has to be worked. It's a gift from the universe, Sagittarius, but it won't be presented to you all ready to go. You'll either have to wait for it to unfurl and bloom, or you'll have to actually grow and develop it. You'll have to work at it. But the energy that I have here is wonderful energy if you're willing to put the work into it, Sagittarius. That's what I see for you in Cancer. All the possibilities are there, but you have to develop it. And maybe, let me say too, in that energy, maybe that energy starts off a little slow, continues to be slow. This Wheel of Fortune with a Five of Pentacles. Things start off in small steps, and it's the small movements that are actually building towards something greater. Anyway, greater, let me say too, before I move on to Scorpio, Sagittarius, with that Cancerian energy, it's like the small steps may not really see, or the small interactions may not really seem that relevant. But when you look back on them, if you continue to deal with that Cancer, you'll see how everything fits in, how everything has fit in quite surprisingly and quite strongly for what will come. So we're on Scorpio, right? Scorpio for Sagittarius. I may move these a little faster. I think it's like 4 or 5 a.m. and I do have things to do today. Sagittarius, if you're dealing with a Scorpio. King of Swords, bottom of the deck energy, we have Queen of Swords. I have soulmate energy here. Both of you are comfortable in your sense of self. You and that Scorpio Sagittarius also too. Sagittarius, you and that Scorpio may have a different way of thinking, a different way of operating, different values. Both of you are alike in the fact that very strong individuals, very strong sense of selves, maybe too strong sense of self, but you are here soulmate energy. You are made of the same stuff, Sagittarius. You and that Scorpio, you operate the same, you think the same, you probably even react the same. Maybe you react the same, Sagittarius, but maybe you don't quite act the same. Anyway, you definitely think the same. There's some very, you share some stardust between the both of you. You have some differences there. But, you know, those differences are, I want to say superficial. They're not the core. The core of you guys are the same. So King of Swords is clarified by a Six of Wands, Knight of Swords, and Page of Swords. Can you recognize that you and that Scorpio are made of the same stardust? You have the same goals, and that internally you both see things the same way. Maybe you act differently on them, but the decisions that you make and how to act on them are very much aligned. You and Scorpio's energy, Scorpio's like another self of you, like a spider plant baby. That's quite sizable to its parent. Yeah, it's like practically the same thing. You know, sometimes when you're so close to something, it's a little hard to interact with it. But once you get beyond, I don't know, just a little bit of friction, things are natural. Left hand and right hand moving together. If you're dealing with a Scorpio Sagittarius, Could be the sense of ego that is the biggest downplay, or the sense of not even ego. I feel like ego is the wrong word. It could be self-esteem. There's no ego that I have here. It's just, belief in yourself that there is warranted. It's warranted confidence. So I take the word of ego back. I say high self-esteem. And maybe a stronger sense of empathy could be needed here for any sort of friction if you're dealing with a Scorpio. If you're dealing with a Scorpio, both of you essentially want the same thing. Scorpio's energy is very good. Your energy is very good. And if you can go and align yourself, take a step back, take a deep breath, and then plunge forward with that Scorpio. Very interesting things can happen with that Scorpio. Just like Pisces showed power couple, in this energy, there's also very strong teamwork here in what you can achieve, and how when your two soul vibrations come together and vibrate and move and whatever, together as a team, you can create and cover some really impressive ground with that Scorpio in a partnership, Sagittarius. Very exciting energy there with that Scorpio, Sagittarius. Something to consider, Sagittarius, if you can get on the same page together. Now, final signs, we have air. So let's do Libra. We have such strong Libra energy coming out throughout the reading so far. We'll start off with Libra, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, if you know a Libra, if you meet a Libra, ooh, Libra is fiery. Libra is also quite exciting. Libra is not going to be what you expect, Sagittarius, so don't try and pigeonhole Libra. Libra will defy your expectations. Libra is not at all into having any sort of passive energy. Libra will keep you on your toes, Sagittarius. You could be quite enthralled with Libra, Sagittarius. Maybe Libra could be enthralled with you, Sagittarius, but I think this is actually, I think Libra holds a magnetism here, Sagittarius. Because Libra's energy here, Queen of Wands, whatever this is, Seven of Swords. Libra is just crackling with electricity, Sagittarius. Libra also has lots of things going on. It's just in the natural energy of Libra. Libra is just glowing, crackling, sparkling, moving. Libra is doing things. And as they're doing things, because they're doing things, well, they are acting like a gravitational force. So Queen of Wands gets 4 of Cups, 10 of Wands, which is Sagittarius energy. 8. Can you catch the energy, the attention of that Libra, Sagittarius? Independent Libra. Is Libra even ready to acknowledge a soul connection, Sagittarius? You know, Sagittarius, I do believe that we have more than one soulmate. I also believe that we can form soulmate connections, Sagittarius. But sometimes it comes down to, where you're at or that other person is at in the soulmate energy. Are they have they matured? Have they grown enough to be open to you? What kind of household and values? What kind of household were they raised in? What kind of routine do they have? Like all those things play a role into how their energy vibes with you when it comes to soulmate connection with you and that Libra. You and that Libra definitely have attraction or possibilities there. I have soulmate energy here with you with that Libra. But, it's also too, is it the right time for that connection to be built? Do you have to go and temper expectations with Libra because that Libra is not ready yet to go and formulate the soulmate connection between you? Timing is an issue here. I don't know why she keeps on always wanting to go and sit on the drawings. She's not necessarily bending it, just curling it or whatever. So yeah, that's like the energy here between you and Libra. So saying that, Sagittarius, with you and Libra, she's like burying herself into this and the drawing, but she's still not creasing it. I have to go and put that away when I'm done. So saying that Libra's energy is, well, I said kinetic. Libra's mind is somewhere else, Sagittarius. If you come across a Libra, if you're dealing with a Libra, Libra could enchant you quite a bit, Sagittarius, but Libra's energy isn't ready yet to settle down right now. Sagittarius, you would be something that Libra would come back to. Sagittarius, or in your energy here, this is something that the timing isn't right. Responsibilities or just tasks, places they have to do. Libra has other things to do before pursuing a meaningful connection with you, Sagittarius. Keep that in mind with Libra, Sagittarius. Not now and not in a while. Libra and that energy, Sagittarius, has a very strong possibility of being a heartbreaker for you, because you'll sense that Emperor and Empress energy. You'll sense that soulmate connection, but perhaps it could be stronger for you than it would be for Libra. Could be the other way around too, but I think Libra is the one that's going to be elusive. Let's go and see Aquarius, strong Aquarius energy. Well, whatever possibilities there could be, regardless you meet an Aquarius or are dealing with an Aquarius, Aquarius knows a lot. Aquarius could also have a lot going on. Aquarius probably does have a lot going on, Sagittarius. But Aquarius is fully aware of everything. Aquarius has a lot going on. Aquarius is aware of all that. Whatever this may be, how people view them, the opportunities that arise, how people view them, how they can work a situation, what opportunities are there. Aquarius is aware of all that is right now going on around them and what could be. Aquarius also too in this energy has their pick of what to do and how to do it. Aquarius in this energy too is going to choose the avenues and opportunities, Sagittarius, in which they get the most range or the most power or the most sway, the most influence. You know, Aquarius wants to come out on top. Aquarius wants to come out strong. Aquarius wants to be the strong, not necessarily be led. So they're going to go after the greenest pasture that they see for themselves, the easiest pasture. Are they going to exert themselves for someone else? Not particularly. They will exert, but exert themselves. This person's still going for, you know, the easiest. Maybe they'll exert themselves towards an avenue in which at the end they will hold the greatest admiration, or they will hold the greatest power. Let's just leave it like that. So Page of Swords gets strength. Seven of Wands. If you're dealing with a Sagittarius, an Aquarius Sagittarius, that Aquarius is interested in you. They're interested in the possibilities with you, Sagittarius. Not quite the energy of equals here, Sagittarius, but if you are heads over heels with Aquarius, if you view or treat Aquarius with shining light. Gee, look at all these pages. Page of Swords, Page of Wands, Page of Cups, Ace of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. All the pages are here decked out for you, for Aquarius's energy towards you. But let me say, in the energy that I have here with Aquarius, well, it's almost like a little bit like God worship, or, you know, love, what do they call it? Love blind, love struck type of energy. Like if you can't see anything but Aquarius, well, first of all, that's the energy that Aquarius wants. Aquarius wants someone who is love blind, color blind. You only see Aquarius, most concerned with Aquarius. Aquarius is going to go to where they have the greatest sway. And they definitely feel, Sagittarius, like they could have that with you. Sagittarius, if you are dealing with an Aquarius, or if you meet an Aquarius, do you find necessarily not quite as uneven, but almost like Pinky in the Brain type of energy, Sagittarius, but not like a, 80%, 20%. I feel like this energy is more like a 60-40 type of energy. You know, it's not quite equal, but there is a sway. If Aquarius can hold 60% of the admiration, and Sagittarius, if you will be a willing participant most of the time towards what Aquarius wants to do, or an ardent admirer, an ardent lover of Aquarius, because again, Aquarius is quite aware of their possibilities and of all the admiration that they have. It's who admires them the most. Sagittarius, that could be you, but be aware, if it is you, it's not 50-50. Aquarius will be with you. Sagittarius, Aquarius will be. I guess I could also say, as we're doing love readings, all those pages and new beginnings, Sagittarius, children could be at play. Sagittarius. Also, too, with all those pages and aces, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, air and fire, obviously. But we have all those other pages, all the 4 pages there. Sagittarius about Aquarius. Not only could children be at play, but you could be forming bonds with that Aquarius, maybe through children, obviously through children, new beginnings, whatever kind of bonds. You could be forming bonds with that Aquarius that's going to stick with you either forever or a very long time. Maybe those bonds will be exactly what you want. Maybe those bonds will turn out into something you didn't anticipate. Because think about it too. Pages are energies of initiation, new creation, new starts. They're new things. They're fragile sprouts, Sagittarius. And you're starting sprouts, Sagittarius, with that Aquarius. But how exactly will those sprouts mature and grow and look like, and the environments and conditions they'll require? All up in flux, Sagittarius. What something starts off with in infancy may not be, maybe an entirely different thing at maturation. So lots of new beginnings there, but very kinetic, fluid energy there. And it's all built upon the love that Aquarius feels from you. Not necessarily how they feel towards you. You know, what they receive, Aquarius will give. But will they give it in the same intensity as what they're receiving it in? Will they give it in the same light as what they're being given? Things to consider. Anyway, the final sign is a Gemini. Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising, Gemini Venus. You can also think about, as these are love readings, Gemini 7th house, Gemini Jupiter, Gemini Juno. Somebody with significant Gemini energy, maybe they have multiple planets in Gemini, maybe they have a Gemini Mercury, right? There's many different ways to break down how strong, how prevalent Gemini energy could be in someone's chart. Of course, I would think with all these signs, right, if it's prevalent, you're probably aware of it. So, Sagittarius, if you're dealing with a Gemini, if you meet a Gemini. Okay, 5 of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. Oh, Gemini is nursing something. Oh, sad Gemini. Gemini has had their heart crushed in some way. Doesn't necessarily have to be about you, Sagittarius. But Gemini has been taking some emotional hits, unpleasant emotional hits. Gemini has stuck true to themselves, stuck true to what they feel and believe in, and very strong energy, very solitary energy. Gemini walks the talk they give. What Gemini says they'll do, what Gemini talks about, Gemini actually follows through on it, even though it could be painful for them. What Gemini talks about doing, Gemini does, even if it's hard. Gemini is honest. What Gemini says, Gemini does, even if it's harsh to even themselves. Gemini is true to self, even though it could be painful for Gemini. So that's the energy around you and Gemini. We'll find out more about this 5 of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles, the Fool. Which actually, I don't read my Fools as Gemini. Read my Fools actually as Aquarius. Of course, Ten of Swords is Gemini energy. Couple of things. Yeah, Gemini went through some ouchy, painful things. Much in like that initial main reading that we have here. It's like Gemini sacrificed something they really valued because they realized that there was something they had to place on an even higher value than what was so important to them before. Gemini accepted that, and although Gemini accepted that, Gemini hasn't completely let go of this. Something to the past Gemini hasn't exactly let go of. Not necessarily the same exact thing, but perhaps overtones or something they want to regain. Something still fascinates them. Something still pulls them. Something they still desire. They desire and they keep themselves from it, but they desire it. Is that you? Is that something else around you? Gemini's energy. Gemini is going for a new start, and at the same time, Gemini, something about Gemini that's pulling Gemini back. Could be a specific person in this energy. Sagittarius could be patterns, behavior patterns. Something. Gemini is about to start a new phase, but there's something about their past that Gemini still could pull with them into the new phase. And therefore, it wouldn't quite be a new phase, just a continuation of this. Something they should let go of, something they can't quite let go of. So therefore, in this energy of love towards Gemini, Gemini is green. Like a sapling that has been bent or broken and there is sap coming out of it. Gemini needs time. If you're interested in Gemini, Gemini is still growing. Gemini in this energy is volatile because Gemini can pull something from their past into their present, and it's in their best interest for Gemini to let go of this completely. But yet, they could, but they could also pull it back. So I'm going to say if you're dealing with a Gemini's kind of energy, not yet. Oops. Gemini's energy and this energy is not quite yet. I wouldn't put much stock into Gemini in this energy because Gemini's in pain. Moving forward, which comforts them. Not going to dig anything more into that because Sagittarius, this is actually very painful energy for Gemini. I'm just going to say with Gemini, I don't really think Gemini has the best energy right now. Gemini is in pain. Gemini is working through it. Gemini is healing from it. Gemini is not healed. Gemini is still very raw. We'll send good wishes to Gemini. Because Gemini hurts. Anyway, Thank you so much, everyone, for the likes. Hello, everyone. And yeah, if you have any comments, let me know. If I do any of these other love readings, I do, and if you feel called to, you can definitely go and cross watch. You can also check out the other astrological readings that are on the channel. Think about your sun sign, your moon sign. Love readings definitely apply to your Venus sign. And anyway, until next time, bye.